All right, this weekend it is UFC 326, Charles Oliveira versus Max Holloway for the BMF. You already know that. You're excited about it because these are two of the very best fighters on the roster that really embody the warrior spirit. And of course, both of them are now fighting at lightweight when they were both former featherweights. Max Holloway was the longtime featherweight champion. Charles Oliveira got finished multiple times at featherweight before he decided to move up and become an absolute legend and an icon of Brazil. People love him all over this sport. He's got the most submissions, the most finishes, the most bonuses. You name it, the man's got it, and he's showing up, and he wants to take that BMF title off Max Holloway. Now, on the BMF, these two, they embody that spirit. Of course they do. Max Holloway is the only one to defend the BMF title. He is the baddest and the best boxer in the UFC, brah.
I'm the best boxer in UFC, baby!
Right, okay? That's it for the impressions. Now we're going to get to the predictions. But first of all, we're going to start way down at the start of the card. There's some great prelims on there, by the way, before we get started. There's Cody Garbrandt taking on Zhao Long. I wish the best for Cody Garbrandt, the former champion. Cody Brundage is taking on Dante Johnson. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
Ricky Tercios, you know what I mean, is taking on Alberto Morales. And we also have Cody Durden taking on Niam Jargel, two men, Dembarel. But I'm going to give you predictions on the main card. Opening it up, we've got violence. We've got two Brazilians going head-to-head at the T-Mobile Arena. We have, of course, got Gregory Robocop Rodrigues. Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
This is a rematch, okay? Gregory Rodrigues was knocked out cold in the very first round by Bruno Ferreira in January 2023. Bruno Ferreira is a better striker. He's lighter on the feet. He was in and out. He was moving like a boxer. Boom, clipped Robocop. Now, if you watch Robocop, you'd forget that he is a multiple-time world jiu-jitsu champion because he never uses it. He always goes for the knockout because he's got massive power. And also, along the way, knocking people out like Jack Hermanson, like Brad Tavares, like Dennis Tululin, right? And in his last one, got a really good win over Roman Kopylov, beaten by decision. But that just shows the development as a striker, okay? When he signed with the UFC, he was a jiu-jitsu guy that liked to punch because when you knock someone out, it feels a lot easier and more impressive and the crowd goes wild and it's a lot less effort to go whoom than what it is to grapple someone down to the ground and try and pass guard and get the choke and all that shit, right? So he's fallen in love with the hands, and along the way Robocop has improved. He was very robotic, okay? Probably why they call him Robocop, because he moves like a robot. He's absolutely jacked. He's gigantic for the division and the skill set has developed. I've got Robocop getting revenge, beating Bruno Ferreira. He will be the winner. Moving on, we got another banger. It's two guys that do nothing but throw punches. We are, of course, talking about Drew Dober and Michael Johnson.
Bang, man!
Now, Michael Johnson, this guy's having like an Indian summer. He's 39 years old, and it kind of looked like the best days were behind him. And the best days probably are behind him because the man is, after all, pushing 40. But he's knocking people out lately. He's beating Daniel Zellhuber by decision. He knocked out Otman Azaitar, and he beat Darius Flowers. Before that, there was a few losses. I mean, there's 4 in a row there. Comes back, knocks out Alan Patrick, loses to Jamie Malarkey, beats Mark Jacasey. That's a good win. And then loses to Carlos Diego Ferreira. Right. Now he's on a 3-fight win streak, okay? Now nothing's changed about Michael Johnson. Obviously, the work ethic, his attitude, his confidence, his positivity, his manifestation skills are through the roof. But it's the same thing, right? He's got good takedown defense. He's a decent wrestler. He's got a very, very long reach for the division. And he's got fast, powerful hands. Now, against Drew Dober, that is going to come in handy. He is the taller guy. He has the longer reach. And I love Drew Dober, okay? And I'm not talking about the fact that he looks like the guy from American Dad.
There's only one thing you need to know about karate. Guns beat karate. Every time.
No, I love him because I love the way he fights. And Drew Dober packs a punch out of 28 wins. He's got 15 knockouts, okay? Last time stopped Kyle Prepelic. So he's back to winning ways because prior to that, he lost 3 in a row to Manuel Torres, Jean Silva, and Renato Money Moicano. So there's no shame. They're very, very good fighters. But this one's going to play out on the feet. And I do think that Michael Johnson gets the job done. I think the longer reach, the faster hands, the straighter shots, and what he's learned throughout the entirety of his career, I got Michael Johnson winning that one. So we're going to move on now. All right, this weekend is UFC 326. Now, this video is sponsored by DraftKings. And by the way, if you want to get in on the action and staying on the action, there is no better place to do that than with DraftKings Sportsbook. Right now, new customers who sign up and use the promo code Bisping, when they bet just $5, they can turn that into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. The crown is yours. Now, as I said, you bet $5, you can turn that into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins, where you can stay in on the action and use those bonus bets on DraftKings same game parlays for a shot at even bigger payouts. And if you love the thrill of live betting, then DraftKings has got you covered. You can bet live on star player props and in-progress games right as they happen. And if sports betting is not yet available in your state, you can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Pick 6 to get a shot at winning cash prizes. So, what more are you waiting for? Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. New customers use the promo code Bisping. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Paid instantly in bonus bets. The crown is yours. That is promo code Bisping only at DraftKings Sportsbook. So we're going to move on now to Rob Font, another guy that's probably coming to the end of his career. Rob Font, love the guy, beautiful boxer, Boston Mafia, Boston Cartel, whatever it is, okay? The guy's fun to watch. I used to love all those guys, Kelvin Cater and all the rest of it. But it was a long time ago since they were dominating the sport. He is 38 years old. He has got a new team. I think he's training with Faraz Zahabi these days, or maybe that's Kelvin Cater. Let me know in the comment section. And last time out, he got beat by Daniel Martinez. Now, Martinez just beat Marlon Chito Vera at the weekend, so certainly no shame in that. And he's only lost to top of the food chain guys like Davison Figueiredo, Corey Sandhagen, Chito Vera, and Jose Aldo. There was a couple of wins against Jean Matsumoto. Jean Matsumoto's not easy to beat, but nothing about the style changes with Rob Font. It's all done with the boxing, that beautiful jab that he has. But he's going up against Raul Rosas Jr. This kid is 21 years old. He is fresh as a daisy. And more importantly, the man loves to wrestle. 11 wins, 1 loss. He needed that 1 loss to Christian Rodrigues to wake up, to get over himself, to learn that you've got to push yourself to the limit. When you're a very talented fighter, when you've got God-given ability, sometimes you don't push yourself. He got tired in that fight and he paid the price. Since then, he's come back and he's on a 4-fight winning streak against Vince Morales, Enrique Eleng, Ricky Tercios, and Terrence Mitchell, right? But more importantly, it's the stylistic matchup. Raul can wrestle really well. He knows Rob Font's got a big name. He's going to come into this one very, very prepared. He's going to have a great game plan, which will be wait for the jab, wait for the right hand, shoot a double leg, take him down, and I think Raul Rosas Jr. gets the job done via decision. Right, now we get to the real 2 fights that we all want to see. The main and the co-main event. Kaio Borralho from the Fighting Nerds taking on Reinier de Ridder. Both of these guys have something in common. They both lost their last fights. But there's no shame in that, because that's what happens. Yeah, sure, you can have a rise like Ilia Topuria. You can walk through the entirety of the division. You can knock everyone out. You can be like Conor McGregor and become a 2-weight division champion. But most of the time, it's not that easy, okay? Kaio Borralho lost to Nasruddin Imavov, right? And Imavov looked incredible. Reinier de Ridder, he also paid the price. He lost to Brendan Allen. Okay, now granted, Brendan Allen, very, very capable, talented fighter, but he's not the level of Imavov. But there's a bigger story to it. Of course, before that, he beat Robert Whittaker, Bo Nickel, Kevin Holland, Gerald Mearchar. He made his UFC debut in November 2024, and he had 4 fights in the UFC by the time he got to July. Right? That's a crazy schedule, and you get burned out. Look at Alex Pereira. He got burned out. Simple as that. It's impossible to kind of keep that crazy schedule. Look at Israel Adesanya. Look at all these great fighters that roll the dice, step in there quickly. Eventually, it bites you in the ass. You got to respect the sport. Merab Dvalishvili, that's the other one, right? Merab's awesome, okay? But he was fighting bloody all the time. It takes its toll. I think now that Reinier de Ridder has had a rest, of course. He only fought in October, though, so it's still a relatively quick turnaround. 4 months, it's not a lot. Less than 4 months, in fact, or just over 4 months. Now, Reinier is very tall, and Kaio Borralho is a very well-rounded mixed martial artist. He's a great striker, good wrestler, and he's got good jiu-jitsu, okay? And he's a good size for the division. He's going to know how to stop takedowns. He's going to probably be the prettiest striker on the feet. But look at Robert Whittaker. Robert Whittaker's been in there with some of the best. He's stopped the takedowns for the most part against people like Yoel Romero. And he's fought lots of wrestlers along the way. He's fought every single style, okay? But he couldn't get the job done against Reinier de Ridder. Now, you could say that Robert Whittaker is getting a little bit older. Of course, he's going up to 205, and I wish him nothing but the best. But still, Reinier was able to beat him via a split decision, of course, in Abu Dhabi. And I think it's going to be a similar outcome here against Kaio Borralho. It's going to be a tough, gritty, grueling fight. But Reinier de Ridder, with his awkward style of striking, I'm not saying it's bad. It's off beat. It's off rhythm. The stances are weird. The combinations are unexpected. He throws from weird angles, and he's very strong. Not to mention, the guy is absolutely gigantic for the division. He's coming in fresh. He's coming in off a loss. I love Kaio Borralho. I love the fighting nerds, but I think Reinier de Ridder is going to be the winner. Oh, look at that. That rhymed.
His palm spaghetti, knees weak, arms spaghetti.
Okay, here's the one we all want to talk about. Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, Du Bronx. We both love these people. It's your favourite fighter's favourite fighter, right? Cliched expression, but it's true. Tell me anyone on the UFC roster that doesn't love the pair of these. They fought before in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. It ended really quickly. There was an esophageal injury, right? It wasn't a real fight, okay? This one is.
All my prayers to Charles. I hope he can have a full recovery.
It's for the BMF title, okay? They both embody that kind of spirit. We know that, right? How's he going to go down? Well, Charles Oliveira is going to walk him down because he isn't scared of anyone. He believes in his power. Like, for example, look at that shot that he dropped Justin Gaethje with, okay? He believes in his jiu-jitsu. He believes in his Muay Thai, okay? And he's a real fighter, and he's a good size at 155 pounds. Every time I see Charles Oliveira, I'm blown away by how big he is. And Max Holloway, who was filled out a little bit now at 155, who, of course, last time out, beat Dustin Poirier, dropped him in the first round. And a lot of people have said, oh, well, he also got dropped in that fight. Well, yeah, it's Dustin Poirier in his home city, his hometown, New Orleans, Louisiana. Granted, he's from Lafayette, but you get what I'm saying, okay? And yeah, of course, we know that he got knocked out against Ilia Topuria, but along the way, that knockout over Justin Gaethje. Chang Sung Jung in his final fight knocked him out in Singapore. Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen is the real deal, and he pieced him up, won a decision, okay? So the game plan for Max Holloway is going to not allow himself to be pushed up against the fence. If you saw the co-main event last week with Marlon Vera and Daniel Martinez, Marlon was trying to swing, but Martinez was using beautiful footwork to kind of avoid those swarms and those bombs from Chito Vera, right? Of course, Chito cut the cage off in the third round and was able to do some damage, right? That's what Charles Oliveira is going to have to do here, because Max Holloway isn't going to be running, because he's not that type of guy. He believes in himself, but he will cut angles. He will use educated and intelligent footwork, and he will stay out of harm's way. Charles Oliveira wants to walk forward with a blitz and then get a hold of you with a body lock, drag you down, jump on your back, get a takedown, single leg, whatever it is. And then from there, he goes to work, and you're in his world. And that's not where anyone wants to be. Doesn't matter who you are. Max Holloway can defend the submission. Of course he can. Max Holloway can do submissions as well. And I'm not saying that Max Holloway can't drop him and get a rear naked choke like George St. Pierre did to me, right? When you get dropped, your equilibrium is rocked, and you don't know what's going on. However, I do think that Charles Oliveira will struggle. I do think Max Holloway is the better puncher. I do think he has faster hands. I think he has better striking in general, better ringsmanship, better craftsmanship, better understanding of the geography inside the octagon, and the straight shots that Max predominantly throws will keep Charles Oliveira at bay, and Max Holloway will slowly start to take over the longer the fight goes. So I got Max Holloway getting a stoppage around round 4. Now, I could be wrong. I often am. But those are my picks. What do you think about them? Let me know in the comment section. Please subscribe and ring the bell like I always ask. Or don't. Or like the video. Leave a comment. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the fights this weekend. I'll be there in Vegas. I'm working the desk. It's been an extremely busy period for me lately, but I love it. Anyway, you guys take care. Enjoy the fights. All the best.